So welcome everyone. I am Elisa Bonet. I am a certified essential oil educator and a wellness advocate with doTERRA. And today we are doing a group wellness consult to do a lifestyle and membership overview. The reason that we do this once we enroll is to help you get on board with all of the tools and resources. And so some of you, if not all of you in our group, have received a wellness welcome package. And everyone gets a little bit of a different package depending on what your needs are. But we're going to go over some of the things that are usually found in those packages. And we are going to get started because we have a lot of material to cover. So feel free to take screenshots, take some notes. And this will be recorded so that you can refer back to it at a later time. So first of all, we want to congratulate you for taking this step. You have made a decision to self-direct your health in a holistic fashion. And now you are opening up your lifestyle to some empowered living and incorporating essential oils in your daily routine can drastically improve your overall health and wellness. Now, doTERRA is a Latin word for gift of the earth, and it offers you a variety of natural solutions to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. So we're going to get started and cover the following topics. The goals of my class is to give you some very basic tools and resources. Also, if you have a diffuser, I'll show you how to set that up. We're going to cover some quick little DIYs. Sometimes in the welcome packages, we include some roller balls or a little spray bottle or a nasal inhaler, something to help you get some hands-on experience with your oils. So we'll cover some of that. We're going to go over dilution. This is super, super important. Our oils are very concentrated and some of them can be a little hot or spicy. So we want to make sure that we dilute properly. And also for children and pets and the elderly, we want to dilute for them especially. We will review some basics of essential oil safety. We're going to review some of the top oils and just quickly go through some of the highlights of each of those oils, which are very popular in kits when people are initially starting with doTERRA. Most of us get started with the kit, so we're going to go over some of those oils. Now, in your wellness package, you should have received a live guide, or you might have received a link to download one. And in the live guide, we're going to go over the wellness pyramid, the loyalty reward program and how that works, how to use your account, and also our hosting program. We have really great incentives when you host a class. And next steps. Once you enroll and you go over some of this basic information, what else do you want to consider doing to help you progress with your wellness goals? Now let's get started with some of the tools that are very, very useful. If you did not receive or order any of these when you got started, I encourage you to take note of them because they are very helpful. For instance, the stickers. The stickers are only 50 cents. And if you label the tops of your oils, once you put them in your box or in a drawer, it'll be so much easier to find them if they have the name of the oil on top of the bottle. And we use fractionated coconut oil to dilute our oils as well as to make roller balls or to give a massage. Whenever you dilute an oil, you want to use a carrier oil. And our preference is fractionated coconut oil because it's not sticky, it doesn't stain your clothes, it doesn't have an odor or a color, so it's a very neutral oil to use with your essential oils, and it won't affect the aroma of the essential oil. And I always love to recommend the pump. It's $2.25, but you replace the orifice reducer that's in the fractionated coconut oil. and you can use a pump to easily and quickly fill up your roller balls. Now the box is very economical. It's all wood and you can keep your oils in a very nice, accessible and organized fashion. There are other boxes that you can find in other sites, but I like this one to start people off with because it's a good price point and it will serve most people that start off with some of our basic kits. Roller balls, always want to have roller balls at your disposal because a lot of what we do is for topical application. And if we have kiddos or elderly, we want to make sure we dilute according to their age. And we're going to learn about that in just a moment. So doTERRA has 6 roller balls for $4.75, which is a really good deal. But you can find them on other online stores and sources. Another tool that I think is helpful is to have the doTERRA hand and body lotion. This is the unscented lotion that doesn't have a lot of the chemicals often found in hand cream and hand lotions. And you can create your own hand lotion and body cream. If you want to just add a couple of drops of lavender, or one of my favorites is an oil called Passion. It's so easy to scent your own lotion and not worry about all the toxic fragrances that are found in body products. So just a couple of tips on tools. Now moving on to some of the materials and samples you might have received in your wellness package. You likely received a Living magazine. This is a magazine that comes out quarterly. You can add it to your cart for a couple of dollars through your doTERRA account, or you can download it for free. And I've included the link where you can find these magazines and they go back several years. So feel free to check them out. They have a ton of great recipes, tips on how to use your oils, education about the sourcing of the oils. And they're just really incredible magazines that will help you progress and gain more knowledge. So check out the Living magazines. If you didn't receive one, you can get one, as I mentioned, a paper one through your account, or just log on and check out the online options. In your package, you probably received a catalog or a product guide. This is the newest version we have, and they're usually good for a year or two before prices are adjusted. And I love a paper catalog. Some people like to look everything up online, but I find it pretty useful to go to my catalog and refer back to details about the products quickly if I'm not at my laptop, or if it's really hard on your cell phone to look up some of these things. So I like a paper catalog. Again, if you didn't receive one, you could add one to your order for a couple of dollars. Here we also have a couple of examples of reference guides. You should have received one of these in your package. A reference guide is just a pocket little guide that will give you some basics on how to use oils for a variety of different health conditions. So if you don't have one of these, make sure you check with your upline so that you get one. Plus, you likely got some samples. We try to always give new customers a sample or two that is in correlation to their wellness goals. Maybe something they didn't order in their initial package. So the samples should have been part of your welcome package. So just a couple of things you would have found. Now, if you ordered a kit that included a diffuser, I'm going to go over how to use it. Now, if you recall from your introduction to oils class, the aromatic effects of essential oils are so powerful. When you inhale an oil through your nose and it goes up the olfactory bulb and it triggers the limbic system of the brain, the limbic system is responsible for your heart rate, your respiratory rate, your stress levels, your hormones, your emotions, your memory. All of this by the nose can be supported. So it's important to use your diffuser on a daily basis. I use mine day and night, and they're very easy to care for and maintain. So basically all you do is remove the cover of whichever diffuser you obtain. We have several different ones in doTERRA. You remove the cover and then you fill it up with cold water. I like to use filtered water. You fill it up to, there's going to be a point or a line on your diffuser. Then you add 4 to 10 drops of an essential oil. You can use one oil or you can make a blend. Now, how much you add depends on a couple of things. First, the square footage of your room. Most diffusers can cover an area of 250 to 350 square feet. And depending on the diffuser or model that you have, you can program the time for 2, 4, 6, up to 12 hours on some of them. Now, depending on the size of the room, if you have a smaller room, then you likely need less drops. If you have a larger open area, then you can go ahead and add more drops. The other thing to consider is the scent of the oil. There are some oils that are just so powerful that 1 or 2 drops will just really dominate the scent. So when you learn and as you learn to mix your diffuser recipes, just keep noticing which oils are just heavier or top notes that really hit you hard. For example, I just put some Arbor Vita in my diffuser with Elevation and Douglas Fir. Well, Arbor Vita is just so strong. As soon as you open that bottle, you just, woof, it just hits you hard. So I make sure just to put 1 drop, and then I might put 2 or 3 of the others. But just keep in mind that that's something you have to consider. Now, if you have pets, do not enclose them in a room. Do not put them in the bedroom and set the diffuser and lock the door. You want them to leave if they're uncomfortable. Remember that their olfactory bulb, their sense of smell is so much more powerful than ours. So make sure that you leave the door open, and if they don't like it, that they can leave. Now, there are some oils that certain cats can be especially sensitive to. So anything like oregano or thyme or tea tree or peppermint, these can be too much for them. So don't lock them in the room with the diffuser. Just be very cautious about that. Now, it's important to maintain your ultrasonic diffuser clean so it doesn't get clogged and it gives you the best aromatic experience. So clean your diffuser every 1 to 2 weeks. Just add a tablespoon of white vinegar and water. Let it run like you normally would for just 5 or 10 minutes, and then empty it out and clean it with a soft cloth inside and out. Excuse me. Sometimes I get a Q-tip, and then I wipe my diffuser plate, the inside ultrasonic plate, just wipe that down very carefully with a Q-tip. Okay, so let's go on to some DIYs. I like to do this for my customers. I think it's important that we get hands-on experience right when we get started. I usually include 1 or 2 different bottles or some type of DIY activity with the welcome package. So I don't know if you received one or not, but if you did, I'm going to go over some of the basic DIYs that are sometimes included in welcome packages. I like to include a nasal inhaler. Now, these can come in aluminum. Typically, when we send out the welcome package, it'll include like a plastic one, and it has a cover, the wick, the base, the actual inhaler tube, and a lot of them usually have a label so that you can label your diffuser. Here are 2 recipes if you want to take a picture of these so that you can try them at home. And they're super easy to use. All I do is I leave the cotton wick in the tube, and then I add my oils, and then I cover it with the cap or the base until it clicks. You want to make sure it snaps close, and then just label it. Unscrew the cover and then you insert it in one nostril, close the other, take a deep breath, and then you switch. And this little mix will last anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. The reason I like it, it's because it's so portable. Um, it's easy to carry. You could put it in a backpack. You could put it in your jean pocket. You could have it in your purse or in your makeup bag. And whenever you need any type of support, depending on what recipe you're making, and these are just a couple of examples. There are a ton of recipes you can make. Everything from motion sickness to um, your nose, like sinuses, seasonal threats, sleep, anxious feelings. There's a lot of different recipes. So here are just a couple that I use very frequently. But if you did not get one of these, they're very inexpensive. You can get a bag of the plastic nasal inhalers online for like 10, 12 bucks, and you can make one for all of your family members. So try them out. They're very useful and a great way to use your oils aromatically. If you received a roller ball or if you purchased roller balls, then these are a great tool, as I mentioned, to have at all times. You never know when you're going to need to make something. So the first thing you want to do is add your essential oils depending on the recipe you're using. And then you add your fractionated coconut oil to fill it. And you can find rollerball recipes. doTERRA has a blog online. They have a lot of different social media outlets. So they have Facebook and they're on Instagram, so you can find recipes there. If you got that pocket reference guide that I mentioned, you can see some recipes there, or just ask your wellness advocate. And we're going to go over dilution in a moment, but that's when you would particularly use dilution is when you're making roller balls. Something I always include is a small spray bottle. And I love my new customers to make this calming lemon spray. And it's so easy to make. You just add a pinch of salt. And the reason we use the salt is because it helps the essential oils disperse throughout the water. Instead of floating on top, they disperse throughout the water because we know that oil and water don't mix. So that pinch of salt really helps with that effect. And then just add 15 drops or so of lavender serenity. Just swirl it shakily, swirl or shake it very gently for about 10 to 15 seconds. What you want to do is have the salt absorb the essential oil. So that's why we're swirling it, letting it absorb it. And at that point, you add your distilled or your purified water. And then just, spray it on your pillows, on your sheets before you go to bed to help the kiddos fall asleep. This is a really beautiful spray to help you relax before bedtime. So those are just 3 of the basic DIYs that I choose from to help people get started with their oils. Now we're going to move on to dilution, and this one is very important. As you can see from the image, sometimes people think that dilution is not a very effective way of using oils, but it's totally the contrary. Because of the weight of the oils, they're very, very tiny molecules. There's about 40 million trillion molecules in like a drop of oil. So they're super, super tiny. And they flash off quickly. They flash off the skin quickly, like when you put alcohol, right? It just poof, just automatically flashes off your skin. Essential oils work very similarly. Therefore, in order to get a more extended time release with the oil, it's always best to use a carrier oil like the fractionated coconut oil. As you can see in the image, when you use the fractionated coconut oil, the molecular structure is heavier. Therefore, it binds with the oil and it's dispersed into deeper layers and is a time release, more of a time release. So you get that effect and that support for a longer period of time when you dilute them. You always want to dilute for babies, for children, for the elderly, and for pets. And if you ever get oil on your skin and it's irritating you for some reason, you didn't realize you had to dilute it, then don't wash your hands. you want to use a carrier oil over it first, and then later you can wash it off. But if you add water immediately, it's just going to intensify the effect. So remember to use a carrier oil, not water, for any type of skin irritation. When you have a hot or an oil that might be irritating to sensitive skin, for example, oregano, clove, cinnamon, cassia, thyme, deep blue, the peppermint, or any other type of mint, or the On Guard, some of these can be considered sensitive or hot. Oregano, clove, cinnamon, and cassia are definitely hot, so always dilute those. So just make sure you go through your catalog, do some research to understand clearly which oils are considered hot. Now, here's an example of the effectiveness of using a carrier and then using a carrier and then covering the area. So if you do not dilute your oil, you just put it on, you get about a 4% absorption without dilution. If you use your carrier, you get about a 10% absorption. But if you dilute it and you cover it, you get about a 70% absorption rate. So that's something I think is very important to just keep in mind. Like if you put some oils on your feet, make sure they're pre-diluted or they're already in a roller ball, and then just put some socks on. And of course, like if you put it on your back or on your spine, once you put your t-shirt on or a sweater on, then that's going to serve as your cover to help with that absorption process. Now, more on dilution. This is a general guideline that you want to keep in mind. When you are diluting, you want to just consider the age of the individual. So for example, if you have babies, 0 to 12 months, you want to add 1 to 5 drops to a 10 milliliter roller ball. Or if you don't have a roller ball and you're just going to put it in a little container or a little cup, that would be about 2 teaspoons of fractionated coconut oil or another carrier oil. For small children, 5 to 10 drops. For kiddos that are 6 to 11 years of age, about 10 to 20. And then adults and youths can do about 20 to 40. And then the elderly and the pregnant would be 10 to 20. Now we have a video called Oils for Every Age. I have it on my YouTube channel, The Essential Pearl, and you could learn about the oils that are not recommended for women that are pregnant or nursing, or you can also speak to your wellness advocate. Now in this next slide, I show an example of how you would dilute oils for depending on the age and also depending on the size of your roller ball. Now I've outlined the 10 milliliter because most people and the roller balls doTERRA sells are all 10 milliliters. So make sure you know the size of your bottle. And what we would do, let's say for instance, that we had a pregnant or an elderly individual and we wanted a 2% dilution for a 10 milliliter roller ball, that would be 4 drops of essential oil. The rest would be a carrier. Now, when you are diluting or considering the dilution for an adult, for instance, if it's going to be short-term use, something that is going to be a temporary issue, then you can use a stronger dilution. You don't have to dilute it as much. You could do 25%, you can even do like a 50%. But if we're going to use something on a daily basis, on an ongoing, continuous basis, then it's best if you use a dilution that would be maybe between a 5 to 10%. So all of these factors want to be part of your thought process when you're trying to figure out how to dilute, how much to dilute. And these are just a couple of tips. Remember, if you need help with any of this, just reach out to your wellness advocate.
So can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So all of the oils that we use, we should be diluting them? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, well, there are some oils that if you look in your catalog or even online,
Okay.
it'll tell
Uh-huh.
you if an oil is safe for neat application. So if there is an N, then that means neat. You could apply it neat and it's not going to irritate you. But if you want it to
Okay.
have more of a sustained, um, you want a sustained effect, then it's better to dilute them because the body will absorb it even better when you do dilute it. You want to
All
definitely
right.
like
Thank you.
hot oils, right? Anything that's very spicy, anything that can burn or irritate the skin. But then you have very, very gentle oils like lavender, tea tree, frankincense, right? You don't necessarily have to
Hmm.
dilute them, but you'll get a better absorption if you do.
Okay.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. All right, so now a couple of tips on oils. Now, if you got your living guide, the purple guide with the lavender in the front, this is going to be a part of that. So I'm just highlighting what's already in your guide. You want to specifically think about the safety. Avoid contact with eyes, inside your nose, inside your ears, inside any private, around your private parts. So don't put oils in any of those areas. We talked about using the fractionated coconut oil. Something else that's very important to note is that citrus oils can cause like a sunburn. So they're phototoxic or photosensitive. So if you end up putting any citrus on exposed skin, you don't want to go out into the sun for like 12 hours. Usually citrus oils are going to be used internally or they're going to be used in a diffuser. However, there are some that are in our blends like Motivate or Cheer or even like Adaptive. Some of those have citrus in them and we use them almost like a perfume, right? We use them topically. So maybe if you are going to go out to the sun and you're using any of those oils that may contain citrus, put them on the bottom of your feet or put them somewhere where the sun is not going to expose that skin. And for best practices, always use glass containers with your oils because they can break down the plastics over time. And don't expose your oils to high extreme temperatures. So don't leave them in direct sunlight and don't leave them in a hot car, right? You want to protect your oils so that they remain potent. Okay, so very quickly, a couple of just highlights on the basic oils that I mentioned. So remember, lavender is very soothing for your skin and for your emotions. If you get a sunburn or you burn yourself in the kitchen, you can use lavender to alleviate that. If you have any type of sleep challenges or seasonal challenges, lavender is going to be your go-to. If you have mental fatigue, any type of hot flashes or a temperature rise in your temperature or sinus issues, you can use peppermint. Lemon is cleansing, so it helps eliminate petrochemicals. You can add it to your water. It also uplifts the mood, purifies the air. A lot of great surface cleansing properties and great for internal detoxing. Your deep blue in an oil or in a rub. This is a natural analgesic and an anti-inflammatory. So anything that has to do with discomfort, with pain, with cramping, you can use your deep blue. Your On Guard is your protective blend. So this one is one I recommend we take on a daily basis. So does Dr. Hill from doTERRA. We want to always support our immune system. It's super high in antioxidant properties and you can use it to purify and cleanse the air if you use it with your diffuser. And if you take it internally, then that's going to boost your immune system. So that's a daily go-to that I encourage all of you to use. Then we have Breathe for respiratory support, any type of congestion or seasonal challenges. You can dilute it with some fractionated coconut oil and apply it to your chest, to your back. It's also an awesome one for your diffuser. A couple more. Copaiba. I love this oil. I take it every single day. This one is better than CBD and it's going to support a variety of different pathways and systems. So this one I love for nervous system support, for anxious feelings, for pain and discomfort in my body. So I take this one on a regular basis, every day. So you can take 2 to 5 drops, 1 to 3 times a day, either under your tongue or a little bit of water. Frankincense, the king of oils. This is another one Dr. Hill recommends we take on a regular basis because it helps support your the anti-mutation of cells. So it supports healthy reproduction and it eliminates and kind of scavenges some of those bad cells in our body. Also good for nervous system support and mood support. And I use it on my face for any type of imperfection. So blemishes and dark spots and wrinkles, you want to use frankincense. Tea tree from Australia, a great antifungal. If you have any type of nail fungus, you can put it on your nails. I do this every time I get out of the shower. I just have a bottle of tea tree in my shower. And so I rub some on my nails and also I put some in my shampoo to support with dandruff issues. So a really great oil to have. Last three, we have adaptive, such a favorite for so many people. Adaptive is going to support your mood. It helps with focus and helps with reducing some of the cortisol that can get out of hand when we're under stress or duress. So it balances that system and produces more calm, grounded, relaxed emotions while still helping you focus and get through your day. The oregano is your go-to antibiotic. It has great antiseptic, antibacterial, antiviral, and antioxidant properties, really good for parasites and skin tags and immune support as well. So this is one of the oils you always want to dilute. It's really, really hot. And lastly, Digestin, everything tummy related. No matter what it is, Digestin is a blend that's going to support everything from diarrhea to constipation to gas and bloating, or if we have too much pizza or whatever that is, just take some internally and also rub some topically on your tummy. Now we're going to move into your Live Guide. You should have received one of these with your welcome package. And the purpose of the Live Guide is to help you address about 80% of your health priorities naturally. And so here you're partnering with doTERRA, who is the #1 essential oil company in the world. And they have millions of wellness advocates worldwide. And our goal is always to empower individuals with natural options. And there's going to be times where we need surgery or we need a doctor or we need medication. But for so many of the issues that come up, if we know how to use our oils, we can have our natural wellness cabinet at home and address these issues very quickly, effectively, safely, and economically from our home. Now, in your Live Guide, you're going to see a wellness pyramid. I believe it's on page 3. And this wellness pyramid was developed by Dr. Hill from doTERRA. He's one of the co-founders. And what he has taught us is that wellness is not just one thing or two things. It's a lot of different things coming together and working in a synergistic way. Now, this wellness pyramid starts at the bottom. Our foundation is our nutrition, how well we eat, how healthy we eat. And now we have the support of doTERRA's wonderful vitamins. Even though they're an essential oil company, their #1 product is their vitamins because they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. They're bioavailable whole food supplements that your body is going to easily absorb. And it's not going to be too high or too low. It's going to be in that Goldilocks zone which is going to be just what our body needs. And these are great for men, for women, and for even if you're pregnant, these are fabulous for pregnancy. And almost any age can use these. So if you are 120 pounds or less, you want to take one of each of the dark bottles, which is your Lifelong Vitality Pack. And if you weigh more than that, then it would be two of each. And these are taken twice a day. So we'll go over wellness protocols in just a moment, but I want to break down and I want you to rate yourself. I mean, really think about this. If you had to rate yourself from 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself in each of these categories? So 1 is I need support, I'm not doing great. 10 is I got it, I'm on it, I'm doing really well. So just be honest as to how you would rate yourself in each of these. So when it came to eating right, how's your nutrition? How well do you eat? From 1 to 10, if you have your brochure in front of you, if you see that little box to the right, you'll notice that's a spot for you to write the number that you would rate yourself. And you can always reassess in a few months. But we want to know where we're at so we can see what kind of tweaks, what kind of adjustments we need to make in our wellness lifestyle. So if you notice the first 4, eating right, exercise, rest and managing stress, toxic load, these are all part of our lifestyle. And we have a lot of control over our lifestyle. So eating right, 1 to 10, how are you doing in that regard? And the second most important thing after we have that foundational health is exercise. You know, how are we doing with exercise from 1 to 10? Exercise is not just about trying to lose weight. It's about having a healthy heart. It's about having more energy. It's about boosting our immune system. It's really great to reduce our stress levels. So how are you doing in that aspect? Now rate yourself with rest and managing stress. How well do you rest? Do you sleep enough? Do you feel restored and refreshed when you wake up? What about your stress? How do you manage that? So give yourself a score, and you'll notice that on the right, there's going to be a couple of tips as to what you can use to support yourself in that area. And if you have the Live Guide in front of you, that guide is going to break down each of these sections so you can go to the targeted area that needs support and really get a lot of tips and ideas as to how you can improve any given area. Now, with rest and managing stress, something else Dr. Hill recommends is using balance on a daily basis in the morning and at night. Balance is a blend of essential oils that are primarily trees. And trees are very grounding. They help us feel centered. They help us feel grounded and rooted. And balance is also good to support the liver. We have a lot of some lymphatic tissue in our liver. And so balance kind of stabilizes and maintains that fluidity throughout the body. And it's super, super good for oxygenating those red blood cells. So this is an oil that you might want to consider using on a regular basis. I use it every day. And this also helps us maintain a good balanced mood, which will support our ability to sleep better at night if we have some stabilization happening during the day. Now, reducing your toxic load, we've learned about lemon and the importance of using lemon or other citrus oils like tangerine or grapefruit or lime in our water on a regular basis because we're always trying to cleanse the body, get rid of some of those petrochemicals and other toxins that we may be exposed to. I mean, toxins are everywhere. They're in the air, they're in the water, they're in the products we put on our body. So maintaining a regular cleansing routine is super important. And this is an easy way to do it, right? Just add some citrus oils to your water. Now, when you think about your toxic load, you want to factor in 3 different things. The first one is the quality of your food. If you've never heard of the Dirty Dozen, I encourage you to look it up. The Dirty Dozen is the top fruits and vegetables that have the most pesticides or insecticides, or they're genetically modified. So look those up. You can just Google it. But just to give you an example, there's strawberries on that list, celery, apples, tomatoes. So those are the things that you want to be aware of so that you can buy maybe an organic version of that fruit or vegetable. So toxicity has to do with the quality of your food. Also, hormones are added and antibiotics are added to milk and eggs. So maybe trying to get those organic. The second thing regarding toxic load would be the personal products you use, your mouthwash, your toothpaste, your face cream, your deodorant, your body lotion, your shampoo and conditioner. There are thousands of toxic chemicals that are added to products. And you want to be aware as to what kind of negative impact they may be having on your health. I read a study that indicated how, especially women, when we get ready in the morning, we do our makeup and we take our shower and we put on our deodorant and all those routines that we have to get ready first thing in the morning. Well, we've already layered about 200 toxic chemicals on the body. And then we do something similar at night, right, to get ready before bedtime. So can you imagine on a given day the hundreds of toxins and chemicals we expose our body to? So now you have a wholesale account where you can use more natural products, more natural ingredients, and not expose yourself to some of the worst offenders that are out there. So that's part of reducing your toxic load. doTERRA has shampoo and conditioner, and they have deodorant and toothpaste and toothbrush and two wonderful skincare lines. So just look into that to slowly reduce your toxic load in that regard. The third thing with toxic load would be considering what you use to cleanse your home. They have a lot of fumes and they have a ton of toxins and phthalates and parabens and things that you really don't want to be smelling or touching. So that's another area to consider. And doTERRA also has non-toxic cleaning solutions. And of course, you can make your own. Very easy to make, very inexpensive to make. So check out our toxic-free living video on our YouTube channel as well, so you could learn more tips and recipes on how to do that. So when you put it all together, your toxic load, from the food to your personal care products to your cleaning products, what number would you give yourself, right? There's a lot to think about. The last two have to do with more of our health care. The informed self-care is two things. One is being proactive about protecting our health. You don't want to start taking oils and supplements and stuff when you're sick. You want to do it before. You want to try and prevent or minimize those occasions. So you want to get into the habit of using your On Guard on a daily basis, using your frankincense, using your lemon, because that's going to support your body and help you stay healthier longer. In addition, you want to be informed as to what you can use if you ever have a tummy issue. If you get diarrhea, right, instead of reaching for an over-the-counter product, maybe you can reach for peppermint or Digestin. Or if you're having some head tension, instead of reaching for over-the-counter, you can reach for past tense or deep blue, right? Something else in your wellness cabinet. So this is all about learning and becoming informed as to what oils do so that you know how to support yourself naturally. The last one is being proactive about your medical care. You want to make sure you get your annuals, you get your checkups, you get your physicals. You need to know where your body's at so you can know how to best support it. So this is what the wellness pyramid is all about. You want to have numbers that are like 7, 8, 9, 10 in all of these different categories. If you're a little bit low on any given category, then just work on it and go to those pages in your guide so that you can see some of the suggestions to support that specific area. Now, in your guide, you're also going to see these two pages in pages 14 and 15, where you can customize your plan. So let's just say that you're not doing great with reducing your toxic load, which would be number 4 or the red category. Well, here you have some suggestions. How can you start to reduce your toxic load? Maybe you need to do a 30-day cleanse. doTERRA has a great 30-day cleanse that we do about twice a year. And then they have natural On Guard products for laundry, for hand soap, for cleaning your house. And you can slowly kind of check off what you want to try in that category so that we can boost those numbers. Now, you're also going to have a protocol that was outlined by your wellness advocate on page 16. So this is where they should have written out a comprehensive plan as to what your main concerns are. So your top health priorities, your top 1, 2, or 3 priorities, and then how the protocol would work, what you need to take. Maybe there's a couple of things you need to purchase that you didn't get initially. So all of this would have been outlined for you so that you know what you need for your personal health care goals. Now, please do not recommend or give oils to others that are not in your household without talking to your wellness consultant or wellness advocate. The membership that you have, your wholesale membership, is only for you and those in your household. And we don't want to recommend oils and protocols for other people. Like if we say, oh, like I take this for that, you could take it too, or this is something that you should take. We're trained on what oils can be used. Now, remember, these are very potent oils. They're therapeutic grade. And there are some oils that we need to be cautious of for certain individuals. Individuals that maybe have epilepsy, or people that have high blood pressure, or people that are in blood thinners, or women that are pregnant or nursing. There are just some oils that they cannot have. And so we don't want to recommend oils to other people or buy oils for others until they've had a wellness consult and they've been properly assessed so that we identify the appropriate oils for them. Now, even though you're here with this group overview of for your wellness consult, it's very important that you still have your private wellness consult with your wellness advocate. It would take maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and they would go specifically over this page in detail to make sure that you're clear on how you use things according to what your needs are. So please make sure that you schedule that with your wellness advocate. Now we're going to go into the membership portion and learn how to use our account and what the different programs are. Now, we have 2 options with doTERRA. When you enrolled, you got a membership. Either you paid for the membership or it came free with your kit. Now, with this membership, that means you are automatically saving 25% for an entire year. So this is 25% off retail, and that's what your membership is currently covering. Now, what I want to focus on today is option 2, and this one's called the Loyalty Reward Program. Now, option 1 is automatic, and you don't have to do anything, and you can go into your account whenever you need to buy something. You don't get points, you don't get rewards, and you don't get some of the perks that I'm going to share with you in just a moment, but you do get that 25% savings. Now, option 2 is, for me, the more intelligent way to buy your things, because you can save 35 to 55%, okay, not just 25%. So I want to show you how the Loyalty Reward Program works. It's free and it's optional, and you can cancel at any time. Now, in your brochure, it's going to be on page 18 and 19, and it tells you all about the Loyalty Reward Program. In a nutshell, as I mentioned, it's free to participate. There's no additional fee to join. You can cancel it at any time. You select what you want each month. Even though it's a monthly program, you're in charge of going in and ordering what you want every month. No one's going to order it for you. doTERRA's not going to just randomly ship you stuff. You select what you want. And in this program, you'll receive reward points. And with these points, kind of like frequent flyer miles, with these points, you can purchase or get free product. Now you get points every time you order 50 points or more. And all of us start at 10% and then we go up from there. And I'll show you that in just a moment. We also have the ability through the Loyalty Reward Program, or LRP, we have the ability to get a free oil every month if these two criteria are met. We make our order between the 1st and the 15th of the month, right? First 2 weeks of the month. And if we order 125 PV or points, not dollars, points. So if these two things happen, every month doTERRA has a free oil. And sometimes they're oils that you cannot purchase. They're not part of the regular inventory. And you can collect rare and special oils just by being part of the program. So this is something I love. When I first started, this is how I expanded my essential oil collection, because I made sure that every month I was purchasing my 125 between the 1st and the 15th, and then doTERRA would send me a free oil. Now, it does require the purchase of one thing a month minimum. Now, sometimes people don't want to get on LRP because they think they have to spend a ton of money. And that's not true at all. You have to purchase one item, any item that has points. It could be a deodorant. It could be a toothpaste. It could be a bar of soap. These are things you're going to probably purchase anyway somewhere else. But the difference is these are wholesale and they're made with essential oils and they're natural. And you're not going to have to worry about all that toxicity. So instead of running to another store for some of your basic personal care products, hand sanitizer, right? doTERRA has wonderful hand sanitizer made with On Guard. They even now have hand sanitizing wipes with On Guard. So a lot of great things you can get, and you're not locked into purchasing a certain quantity, just one item minimum, okay? Any price, it could be $5 or $100, it's up to you. And you can purchase as many times as you want. And I'll show you that in just a moment. The other really cool thing about the Loyalty Reward Program is that you get your shipping cost reimbursed. You pay it when you place your order, you pay the $3.99 or the $6.99, whichever shipping option you choose. But the following month, they put that back into your reward account. And so you get it back in points. So that's essentially free shipping. So there's a lot of great perks with this program. Now here, I'm going to go over how you start to gradually earn more and more and more points. Now, here as a wholesale customer, right, you get your 25% discount, as I mentioned. But when you're on the Loyalty Reward Program, the first 3 months, so in order to get points, first of all, I want to clarify this. In order to get reward points, you always get shipping. You're always going to get your shipping points. But in order to get additional reward points, you do need to order 50 points. If you order 50 points, you automatically get 10% back. So every time you order 50, you get 10% back 3 times. Okay, 50, 50, 50. Doesn't have to be consecutive. On the 4th time, you get bumped up to 15%. And so when you order 50 minimum 3 times, you get 15% back. And then you go up the ladder until you hit 30%. So by the time you hit 30%, that's going to be 55% off retail. So that's why this is such a smart program to be a part of, because if you are on a wellness journey and you're going to be using your products anyway, if you're going to get on vitamins, or if you're going to detox your personal care routine, or if there's oils that you still need, get them through the loyalty reward program so that you get free product back. Sometimes I'll have customers that I'm helping and I log onto their account and I notice that they have like $100 or $200 worth of points. And they're like, wow, that was fast. I didn't even realize I had that much money. So they go on a shopping spree and they do add up very, very quickly. All your points are added. If you get points for the June order, for instance, those points that you accumulate for that order would be reflected in your account the 15th of the following month. So July 15th, you would get the points for the previous month. Now in your brochure, on the very, very last page, you're going to have this section that's going to have your member ID and your password. And in this section, you're also going to see that doTERRA has a chat, they have email service, they have an 800 number, they have excellent customer service. So if you ever have questions, you're having trouble with your account, then just give them a call and they'll be happy to help you. Now, other support that may have been noted here by your wellness advocate would have been their contact information. And I wanted to give you some more information. This would be a great time to take a screenshot because we have several Facebook groups. I have one for my group. It's called the Essential Pearl. And then our larger community has another group that has a lot of holistic practitioners. They have naturopathic physicians. They have wellness advocates that have been doing this for 10 years plus. So it's a more robust group and it's called Essential Wellness PDX. And of course, doTERRA has a group as well. Now, one of the great things about our team is that our upline has created a fabulous database. It is a website called essentialwellness.life. The password is success, and this is for our group only, so please do not share it with anyone else. And here you're going to find recorded webinars and calls on essential oils and healthy living. We have live calls every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I have included the Zoom ID, or if you want the link is there as well. It is the same one every single week. So I encourage you to hop onto those calls. They're very educational and they always have someone different presenting. So they're always interesting. And then I have continuing education classes on my YouTube channel, The Essential Pearl. And then we frequently do them live as well. Our live series is going to start, I believe, in July. So that's an 8-part series that's going to teach you a variety of ways to use oils for different health conditions and health goals. Now, here is where we're going to log into our accounts to get started. And if you want to take some screenshots so you can see step by step. So there's essentially 6 steps that I'm going to take you through. And I'm using a laptop and I'm using like my computer, but there is an option if you have an iPad or if you have a phone, you can download doTERRA's free doTERRA Shop app. And there's a little box here that I've indicated. That's what the icon looks like when you download it. Now, what I'm going to show you today might be a little bit different than what you're going to see in the app. But in a nutshell, it's going to be very similar, and I think you'll be able to figure it out quickly. So if you're on a laptop, you just want to log into doTERRA.com. And this is the panel you're going to find when you go to the website, and the images change depending on what's being featured on any given month. And you want to go to account up at the top, and then you're going to see login. For those of you that maybe are bilingual or you're Spanish speaking, there is an option to change the language. So where it says United States English, you can click on that and it'll take you to different countries and different language options. But for our purposes, we're just going to log in. And then if you have never used your account, it's going to come up with an authentication process. So you click on mobile, whatever mobile number that is registered with the account will come up and it'll ask you, do you want a text or do you want a call with the verification code. I would always suggest you use the text option, because when you listen to the recording, if they call you, it's like a computerized recording, and sometimes it's hard to understand the code or the number they give you. So I always suggest just ask them to text you the code. You would enter the code and then it'll give you access to your account. And this is just a security feature. So use your member number and your password to log in. You do not want to enroll because you're already enrolled. So you're just going to be logging in. Your account number should have been in that Live brochure on the back, or doTERRA may have emailed it to you. If not, definitely speak to your wellness advocate. Step 3 is where you decide. Are you going to do loyalty reward and earn free product and free shipping? Or do you want a one-time order and you kind of just purchase whenever you want? However, remember, one time does not have access to the free oil or the free shipping or the points, or sometimes we have really awesome promotions and discounts. And so these members do not get access to any of that. Now, step 3 is to set up your order, and I'm going to walk you through setting up an LRP so you know what you're looking at each step of the way. So once you select LRP, a calendar is going to pop up, and this is where you choose the date you want your order shipped to you. And if it's in purple, these are going to be the dates that qualify for that free oil I was telling you about. It doesn't mean you have to purchase 125. It just means you have that date selected. And in any case that you might someday order that quantity, at least you're set to get the free oil. So I always tell people, choose a date between the 1st and the 15th just to be safe, because we just never know from month to month what we're going to need. And it's just better to be safe. Or choose an option that's in black. These are other dates that are processing. So let's say, for instance, if you were to choose the date of the 24th here in September, and you end up purchasing 125 points, well, you still wouldn't get the free oil because it's outside the window that they have specified of the 1st to the 15th. So just choose a purple date. It's just the smartest way to go. Now, on this date, your wellness box is going to be charged and it's going to start the shipping process. So it's very important that you make any changes to your order before your ship date, because once it ships, it cannot be stopped. Once it goes out, there's no way to interrupt that process. You'd have to wait to receive it and then return it, and we just want to avoid all that. So make sure you set up a reminder that you want to change your LRP at least 1 to 2 days before your ship date. And you can change your ship date whenever you want. You're not locked into any date. And I'll show you how to change it in just a second. So step 5, you just add items by using the search tool, or there's a shop drop-down menu, or there's icons, and you just add things to your bag. And then you click on your bag and this little pop-up that says cancel order or review order is going to come up. You hit review order, and then it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. And what you're looking at is just an overview of what's in your cart. Sometimes we forget to add something, so there's a quick add feature. And then the things that I circled, for instance, your estimated shipping points earned and your estimated loyalty points earned. It gives you an estimate from what's in the cart at that moment of what you're going to get the following month in points. Of course, it depends if you're at 10% or 30%. And if everything looks good, then you can just click save and process on whatever day you have selected. Or if you're like, you know what, I really need this stuff, I don't want to wait, I just want it now, you can proceed to checkout. You can always override a ship date. Now, one thing to note, let's say right here we're working with an order for June. Let's say it's June 3rd and your order is due to process on the 16th. And you don't want to wait till the 16th because you ran out of something and you need it now. That's fine. Click proceed to checkout. But let's say that it is May 29th. Okay, it's May 29th and your order is for June 16th. If you click proceed to checkout, that order is going to be counted for the month of May, not for June. So it's still going to be pending for an order that needs to be processed in June. So just be aware of that. I think that's an important point to note. And then finally, if you need to make any changes, again, remember to edit your order before your ship date, because this template has been set up just for you with your preferred products. So those products stay in the memory of your template. And just because your order ships, it doesn't erase the products because it has to keep an active template. This is a monthly, like a monthly ship, right? So you need to go in and edit it. If you do not edit your order, whatever's in your cart from last month will ship again. And that's why I say, put a reminder, set it in your calendar. You just have to do this once a month. So be conscientious about that. And when you log back into your order, you do not have to create a new LRP. You just have to go into edit because that's your existing LRP and that's the one you're going to work with on a regular basis. They give you the option to create a new LRP because sometimes if there's another family member and they want to have their own things on a different day because they get shipped on a different day, I get paid on a different day, then you can set up a different template for that other family member. But usually what we do is we just have one template and we just edit that same template every single month. Now, when you're editing your template, you can't delete, and leave nothing in your cart, right? Because it's an ongoing template. So put in something new. And once you do that, then you can go in and delete all the old things. I've had customers try to delete everything and then put in the new and they can't and they get frustrated. So that's a little tip. Put in something new, then delete the old, and then you can continue adding to your cart. So here we go to the very last part of placing your order. Just a couple of things to note when you're in your review template. This is where you can change your ship date. At the top on the purple bar, there's a little calendar and a pencil icon. You can click on that and you can change your ship date. Remember to save it so that it registers. You can also see your reward points that you have available that you've accumulated. You have a whole year to use points from the time you receive them. So if you receive 10 in June, you have till the following June to use those 10. So just kind of keep track of when you got which points. But most people just accumulate, 40, 50 points and they're shopping. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. But that's where you would see your accumulated points. And then to exchange your points, if there are oils or items that qualify, then you're going to see a drop down. If you see there's a circle around use points and there's a 0, if you click on that down arrow, then you can just click on 1 and that will make that Copaiba. I only have 1 in the cart and that would make it free. So just make sure that you know which things are available. You can't do partial points. If you have 20 points and something is 21, you can't use 20 and then pay the dollar. You have to use all the points for all of the points in the item that you're trying to obtain free. And then for your reward points, you always want to keep track of what your points are at. If you notice the circled 125, that's where you would see the total of everything that's in your cart. Remember, if it's 50 and above, you start getting 10% and above. If it's 125 or above, you also get a free oil if you've ordered between the 1st and the 15th of the month. And whenever you're ready to exchange your points, you do need to purchase 1 item minimum. Doesn't matter what it is, but 1 PV minimum is required. There is a $3 fee to exchange points. So I tell people, wait till you have 30, 40, 50 points before you start exchanging it to make it worthwhile. And then with points, this is important, with points, you have to process that order immediately. You can't save it for a future ship date. So if you're planning to use points, just be aware that you're going to have to process it. So there are a few things you cannot purchase with points. The vitamin kits, the diffusers, anything that's a promo or a one-time purchase or limited edition item, you cannot purchase with points. And as I mentioned, you have a year from the time you received your points to exchange them for a free product. As we wrap up the class, I want to just mention about the Hostess program. If you have not hosted a class, I invite you to consider doing this. It's easy, it's fun, and you can earn some free products. And this is something that I do. Every team member has their own selection of gifts that they provide hostesses, but I provide my hostess with a keychain, which I showed you in the first slide. And I fill up that keychain with oils if you have 1 or 2 guests. If you have 3 or 4 guests, I let you choose one gift from any of the items below. And for the more guests, you get more gifts. And if you get anyone that books a class from your class, then you get an additional gift from that. So depending on what's on stock, sometimes doTERRA runs out of certain items, so the gift selections may vary. But in general, these are the items that are available as gifts. And guests count only if they do not have a doTERRA account. They have to be 18 or older to participate, and they have to have the ability to open an account. So they have to have that, that ability to participate. So this is a really great program to help you earn some really great free gifts. Now, as we conclude, these would be the next steps. You want to schedule your personalized wellness consultation with your wellness advocate if you haven't already. And since we've covered almost everything they normally would cover with you, then it would just be a very brief session to go over your protocol and make sure you know how to use your oils and understand what you may need for the upcoming month or 2. So schedule that. And then I invite you to join our groups. Our groups are closed because they're very tailored to individuals using essential oils. And you will need your account number and the name of the person that enrolled you to join the Essential Pearl. As I said, it's a private customer group. And then we have our larger group that is a lot more robust, which has a community of holistic practitioners at Essential Wellness PDX. Plus, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you need a link, let me know and I'll be happy to text you the link to the YouTube channel. We have 8 classes on there that are continuing education. The very first one I encourage you to watch is the one that says, I have my oils, now what? That's going to repeat some of the things that we went through today, but it has a lot more recipes and ideas and tips for those of you that are just getting started. And I did put the link of that class here. I don't know how easy it'll be to type in all those little numbers, but again, let me know and I'm happy to give you the link directly via your phone. Plus, consider organizing a class, hosting a class. It's fun, it's easy, and you can win some great prizes. And just remember to use your oils. Don't let them accumulate dust. Don't forget about them. They are living, beautiful oils that can change your life, can help your health, can improve your mood. And just do a little bit of research. Take some time to watch some webinars and read the materials that were given to you. Now, as we close, are there any specific questions that you may have that I didn't cover in the class? Sean?
No, I just thank you. I really appreciated this information, this time together tonight. It was very helpful. I was a little concerned about the, the diluting of the oils because I guess I haven't been doing it correctly. So that's kind of concerning to me because I want to get the full effect of the products that I'm using.
Yeah.
So I want to definitely go back over this session tonight. And I think you said, how can we get the link to this recording?
Yeah, so if you want to write down my phone number and I
Yes.
can send it to you once it's ready. So
Okay.
it's 503
Mm-hmm.
277
Mm-hmm.
8200.
Okay.
Maybe
And I
just
did
send me a
took,
text.
and I did take screenshots, and they were very helpful and beneficial. I'm gonna go back through my stuff. I don't remember getting the live brochure. That should have come in the packet. So,
Well, yeah, talk to your upline and
okay,
he can either probably get one to you or you can download it. It's available
okay,
online. So that's
okay.
another thing that, you might consider doing.
Yeah, if I can download it, that won't be a problem, but I'm just gonna double check because I know I got a small pamphlet, but I don't remember getting one. As you were going through the different slides, I was like, well, I don't remember getting that, but
Okay.
I'll double check.
All right.
But
Well, it was nice meeting you. Just send me a text and I'll make sure I get the links to you.
all right, thank you so much.
Okay. Nice meeting you, Sean.
Nice meeting you too.
Okay. Anything else from anyone else before we wrap up?
I don't have anything, but I just appreciate you doing this. It was super informative. It was. I gotta agree with Sean on that. So I appreciate you doing it.
Oh,
I learned quite a bit.
my pleasure. I'm glad you were able to join us.
Yeah. And I will text you from the new phone number because I just saw that you did send a text the other day from that old number. So I'll respond to you from the other number and we can finish talking.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Good seeing you, Aisha.
Good seeing you too.
All right. Have a good night. All right, everyone. I'm going to hop off. Thank you for joining us. And I will make sure we have the recording available for anyone that needs to go over anything.
Great.